Hi Gemini, Happy New Year. Welcome to your 2020 forecast. We're going to connect and see what's coming up for you in the year ahead. We're going to pull one card for each and every month with this deck here. And then we're going to pull an angel card from this deck here to see which angel will be with Gemini's Sun, Moon, and Rising in the 2020 calendar year. So without further ado, my darlings, let's jump right on in and see what's going on for Gemini's Sun, Moon, and Rising in 2020. Alrighty, my darlings. Please show us January 2020 for Gemini. Oh, and we're starting off with an air card. You are in your element. You are in your power. We're starting off with King of Swords. So, King of Swords is a card that's going to have to do with planning, strategy. King of Swords can also be somebody who is a bit of a negotiator, actually a very good negotiator at that. So January, you might have some plans in place and you might be ready to step forward with those plans. You might be in a situation where you're ready to move forward and do what needs to be done to make things happen. So you're going into 2020 not wasting any time. You're very clear what needs to be done. You're very clear to how you need to go about doing it, and you're ready to do it. However, I am getting the negotiator vibe from King of Swords coming out here. So I feel for some of you, you might be really persuasive in January. So if you are someone that, or you might be doing something to work on your public speaking as a part of your goal, because I feel you're doing something to persuade others. So maybe you're going out and you're finding investors, or you're going out and you're finding supporters, or somebody's not on the same page as you are and you're convincing them why this is a good idea or why this is going to benefit them as well. I do feel for some reason this is not typically a feeling I get with the King of Swords card, but I do feel for some of you, you're talking your way into some kind of a loan or some kind of an advance, or somebody is helping fund something for you, fund an idea, fund a situation. So that's interesting. That's very interesting. I don't think I've ever felt that with this card. But for some reason, Gemini, for some of you, I am feeling it in this way. Now, keep in mind, it is a general reading. So that's not going to be for every single one of you. There will be parts of the reading that resonate. There's parts of the readings that don't. But the year's not even here yet. So we'll see what happens as we get to it, all right? I'm going to elaborate on it a little bit more and go a little bit further. That's what the other two diamonds are here for. I'm going to pull clarifiers, but I'm going to do that in the extended, because some people are like, quit talking and get to the next card, lady. So this is going to be the quicker version. We're going to go to February. Next card, please. February 2020 for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And you have the Hanged Man. Now, don't fret, Gemini. This is actually a pretty good card coming up. What people don't realize and what they don't consider when this card comes up is that it is major arcana. This is a major arcana card. So even though it could indicate some kind of standstill, it's a universally planned or organized little timeout, okay? Some kind of cosmic timeout. Not because you've been bad, not because you're being punished, but because something needs to be looked at from a different angle here. You're being given a chance to perfect your plans and to get very clear about what it is that you want and what it is that you are calling in. I have to say this, and this might be kind of deep for some of you, but it needs to be said, and hopefully the majority of you will grasp it. I see this card come up a lot when Spirit is trying to give you a big heads up. Spirit is really trying to come through and get this message to you. You're manifesting something based off old energy, based off who you used to be and what you used to want. But you're on autopilot so hard that you don't even realize you don't want it anymore. So Spirit's saying, we're going to bring this in because you keep putting it out there, but can you please double check what it is that you're asking for? So I think February is going to be a good time for you, Gemini, to take some time and really think about what it is that you want and how it is that you're aligned with that. Try to be a little bit more present. Try to manifest a little bit more mindfully, because when I see this card, it tells me you're kind of on autopilot. And the things that you're calling in are for the old you, not for the new you. Okay? We'll go into that a little bit deeper in the extended as well. We're going to move on to March 2020 for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. What message for Gemini in March 2020? March 2020. And we have Knight of Swords. So air energy. Guys, you are going to be in your element of thought in the early part of the year. We see this in the first 3 months of the year. You are in the element of thought. That really makes sense to me why you got the Hanged Man coming up in February. Because you're going to be in your thoughts. You're going to be doing a lot of strategy. You're going to be doing a lot of planning. You're going to be a lot of thinking. And Spirit's saying, wait a minute, come down into the body. Really get clear, get focused here. Don't let your mind run away with you. And Knight of Swords is coming in saying that you're going into something with a lot of focus, a lot of precision. You're going into something full speed ahead. This can be a very good thing. But Knight of Swords also comes up with a little bit of a heads up, and it asks you that, as determined as you are, not to go in bulldozing, not to go in steamrolling. Gemini, I feel like some of you have been putting up with some nonsense for a while. You've been putting up with some nonsense for a long time, and you're over it, and you don't want it anymore. And you're going to be going in to maybe confront somebody, confront a situation. It could be an employer. It could be a family member. It could be a lover. It could be everybody in your life. You might be on a bit of a rampage. You might be in the energy in the month of March where you're just ready to lay down boundaries with everybody, okay? You're in your right, and you're very logical, but be cautious with your approach. Don't go in too hard or too fast. I'm getting the feeling of the Strength card with this card. So you catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. You can say the same thing and still be very impactful, but you can say it in a way where you're going to get what you want out of that person instead of having to be an argument, right? Instead of, oh, see, this person's being a jerk and forget you and I'll go do everything by myself. It doesn't have to be that way. You know, if you can go in there with that King of Swords energy and not regress back into the Knight, you're going to get some good deals. You're going to get some things turning around in your favor. So this card is coming up as a heads up for you that, look, you can have a different outcome here. But if you let yourself be an autopilot, like we saw with that Hanged Man, and if you let yourself be like a broken record in your mind, then that focus, that planning, that clear vision you had in January, it could backtrack, but it doesn't have to. That's the message here. It doesn't have to. So be cautious of your perception of things. Try to stay in gratitude. Try to focus on what's going well for you. When you're going to approach somebody about some way that maybe they haven't appreciated you, or they haven't helped, or they haven't, given you what you needed, approach it in a way why it's going to be good for them as well. Approach it in a way of like logic and coming in with logic, but not accusing, right? Like this is the situation. Like, let's work together to get a better outcome here. You're going to have much better outcome. Okay, let's look into April. Please show us April 2020 for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And we have Page of Pentacles. So Page of Pentacles is letting us know that which you are working on is beginning to take root, okay? It's beginning to happen. Let me use my other hand here. It's beginning to happen. It's beginning to manifest. Page of Pentacles is asking you also to be paying attention to the physical realm, like to be in your body, to notice what you need physically, your physical needs. So this could even be, Gemini, some of you might be coming out of a hard time financially. Sometimes when I see Page of Pentacles, it's like your financial flow is finally starting to open up again, and it's starting to come in. The money's starting to come in. And the feeling that I'm getting, Gemini, for you guys is give yourself permission to spend money on things that you need. Okay, it's okay for you to go out and get clothes. It's okay for you to go out and get shoes. It's okay for you to spend money on like a comfortable mattress, or just things that are gonna be benefiting in you, like benefiting you, that are gonna help you focus more, that are gonna help you be rested, that are gonna help you be nourished, so that you are performing well in school or in work. That it's gonna help you to be more physically present. Right? Maybe find ways to step away from the processed things and get more whole fruits and vegetables and protein instead of a lot of the instant kind of stuff. You know, sure, it might be very cheap and very inexpensive, but maybe you can get some fruits and vegetables and some protein and, you know, find the budget somewhere else to cut back. Okay? Like, you know, like when you're getting clothes and shoes and stuff like that, you don't have to go all the way high end, right? But you need things that are going to be decent quality, that are going to last you, that are going to be comfortable, that are going to look good on you. So Page of Pentacles could be asking you to really look at where you're putting your time and your money, and thinking of ways which you're going to be able to be smarter with it. Gemini, I feel some of you are actually going to be like actually physically sitting down, physically going through like your bank statement and writing down every single thing that has been coming out of your account, and you're seeing all of these places where you didn't even realize, where you were just kind of like, you know, bleeding out money that's just kind of going to waste, and you're going to nip all that in the bud. You're going to go ahead and, you know, tighten that up so that you're not leaking money out of your account. It could be subscriptions you had no idea were being pulled out of your account, or little ways in which you're like, well, why am I putting so much money into this and so much money into that? And all of a sudden you're realizing, wow, I have enough to get by, or I have enough to make it work, or I have enough that it's going to be easier on me. But I also feel you're getting some kind of increase, whether it's another stream of income that's coming in for you, or a promotion or a raise or a new job. I feel there's also an increase. So I feel like these two things combining together, you're going to be feeling like, yes, like the financial stuff is finally starting to come in. Some of you might even be receiving some kind of aid or assistance. So I don't know if it's like a like it's a public assistance or something that might be coming in, or if it's like financial aid for like schooling or something like this. But you're going to be able to really apply it in ways that are going to allow you to really get on your feet. Like to really, really get on your feet to where you're not going to need anything from anybody. You're going to be able to be self-sufficient. You're not going to feel like always waiting for the shoe to drop, or always waiting for something to go wrong. You're going to get those finances in order. I really feel, Gemini, for a lot of you, this is going to be a very, very big year in terms of really kind of healing any financial blocks you may have had. As well as relationships, like fairness and balance in relationships. That's just intuitively the vibe that I'm getting. But we'll see what comes up as we carry on throughout the remainder of the reading. So this was your April. We're going to see May. What is happening for Gemini Sun, Moon, and Rising in the month of May 2020, please? All right, we have Major Arcana. Those of you who watch my channel, you know you've heard me say, when the major arcana come up, it's a really significant crossroads. It's a really significant turning point for you, having to do with life purpose, life lesson, what you came here to do. Now, the Hermit could indicate that some of you are dealing with a Virgo. There could be a very significant Virgo or a significant situation involving a Virgo. But that's not always the case. A lot of the times, Hermit comes in when we are feeling like we need to get away from certain people or situations because it's not satisfying us. It's not giving us what we need to like recharge, and we might feel like the people, being around people and stuff, is more draining than anything else. So when the Hermit comes up, it's like you're finding joy in that solitude. You're not alone because you're depressed or emo or moping. You're actually preferring to be in that quiet time, to be in that stillness and not have that interruption. And what happens, what a lot of people don't realize, when you're in that hermit mode and you're kind of cocooning. You're going into your cocoon and you're going through your transformation and getting all your clarity and figuring out your spiritual beliefs and your priorities and your principles and who you are and all those wonderful things. Very shortly after that hermit mode, you come out into like manifesting that soul family, that soulmate, like that kind of energy. So I feel that a lot of you are taking some time in May where you're really kind of thinking about where you're headed, who you are now after all the changes you've been going through, what you believe, what you think, what your higher power is. Some of you are getting super philosophical, super religious. For some reason, Gemini, I feel like the hermit mode is coming because you are getting what you asked for or you are getting what you want. So let me clarify. Maybe you had a goal you were really working on and you accomplished that goal. And now you're like saying, okay, but am I really happy or what am I going to do with this? Or maybe you've been in a relationship and that relationship finally takes the direction you were wanting it to take, right? Maybe it's becoming more serious, or maybe you're in a serious relationship and your partner is like, well, I'm ready to, you know, have a kid with you or get property with you or whatever it is. Like, and you've been asking for this for so long, like it's finally here. But now you're like wondering, but how do I feel about this person though? Like, how do I feel about this person? It's like, or this situation or this offer. So I feel like the hermit is you just kind of taking a step back and processing everything and trying to get very clear about how you feel. Gemini, the reason for this is because we already know in the beginning of the year you have all that air energy. You're going to be in your thoughts, go, 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 busy, 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 plans, ideas, things that you're doing, that you might not have had a whole lot of time up until now to just sit quietly and check in on how you feel, what's in your heart. That's one of the reasons why the Hanged Man came up. I feel that if you can pay attention to that Hanged Man card in February and check in then, you're going to alter this reading to where it's going to be very different for you in the remainder of the year. You're going to bypass a lot of stuff. But the Hermit card is saying, again, you have manifested something, you are manifesting on autopilot, and once it's here, you're like kind of opening your eyes, but do I even want it though? Or how do I even feel about this person, or this company, or this job, or this situation? It can also indicate, Gemini, some of you are really getting in touch with your spiritual side, or just becoming more confident and feeling like you want to teach. You want to mentor, you want to help others. So you may be doing some type of volunteering, or you may be doing some kind of effort or some kind of work where you're wanting to get a message out there to others. Maybe you're starting a blog, maybe you're doing public speaking, maybe you're working on an organization or an idea or something that you think is going to be helpful or needed in your community or would be helpful for a certain group of people. But you're really getting clear on how you feel. You're going to feel more sense of fulfillment in your life. You're getting very clear about what it's going to take to make you feel fulfilled. Let's go ahead and check out your June. Okay, so June 2020 for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising, please. June 2020 for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising, please. And here we have Justice. Contracts, agreements, boundaries, all of that good stuff. Some of you could be dealing with a Libra. If we're going to look at the tarot strictly on a zodiac kind of basis, you could be dealing with someone who's a Libra or is Libra, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Okay, that could be an element for some of you. A lot of the times when I see the Justice card, and I've said this in prior readings, I'm not trying to tease you with it, because I'm not a lawyer, I'm not an attorney, and I can't give legal advice. And if you were to book a private reading with me and ask me about this stuff, I would tell you I can't really comment on that. I can't really read on that. All I can tell you is that sometimes when the Justice card comes up, it tells us that some of you may have some kind of legal grounds for some kind of a civil suit, a lawsuit, or there could be something happening in the courts that will be ruled in your favor. So, when this card comes up, sometimes it could be encouraging somebody to stand up for themselves in a court of law, or to make a claim that they're entitled to in the court of law. I don't do legal readings, but I will tell you sometimes this is the message for the Justice card. The way that you can get the answer to whether or not that applies to you in your situation is by going and seeking out an attorney and asking that attorney, you know, because they're going to know about the law, specifically where you live, how the law works where you live, and what are in your rights. Some of you may be, you know, kind of getting into legal studies or doing something in the legal field. And for the majority of you, this is going to be about contracts, like what you came here to learn, what you came here to do, boundaries. The Justice card also is a card having to do with balancing out your mental and emotional desires, right? So you're not all up in your head, but you're also not all up in your heart. Like, you're able to be balanced. And maybe, Gemini, this is why some of you prefer to spend time in the intellectual space, because maybe you feel like when you're in the heart space, it gets too crazy, or you feel like you can't trust your heart, or you get really in the heart space and you feel like, okay, well, I'm not being logical enough. This is being able to have that happy balance. So if this is something that you felt has been a challenge for you or difficult for you, it's safe to say that in June you're getting a handle on it. You're being able to get a handle on that, and also to have boundaries with other people, you know, so that you're not being triggered. I do feel for some of you, though, you are studying or you are researching because of something you are wanting to take to court, or something you're wanting to learn about the law for whatever reason. It could be in terms of profession. It could be in terms of, you know, something you're wanting to do for like a business, or something you're wanting to do with your property. You may be studying up or brushing up on like what your rights are in a situation. But I am hearing like employment advocacy or employee rights or things like this, or labor law. So some of you may be looking into decisions like that or situations like that. Again, I don't encourage people to go around suing people, and I'm not an attorney, so I can't give you advice on that. But I can tell you, you know, these are general readings, and if you think you may have a case, you know, it does not hurt to find an attorney in your area and talk to them and see what they advise for you to do. Okay? Let's go ahead and check, and then we'll pull clarifiers in the extended. Let's go ahead and check out the July. So July 2020 for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Please show us July 2020. Now we've got 5 of Cups, and again, you know what? I'm going to pull one clarifier, because I know that this is a card that maybe freaks some people out. So let's do one clarifier here, just to save time. The Temperance card. Very nice. Okay, so Gemini, I was going to say, there's a lot of different ways in which this card can apply. But see, this is why it's good to have clarifiers. The Temperance card coming up as a clarifier is letting us know that some of you might be disappointed with the time frame, the amount of time something is taking. So maybe you were hoping that something was going to come in sooner, or you were going to be done with something sooner, and it's not going to the time frame, and you might be very tempted to be in this all or nothing thinking where you're like, you know what, then forget it, you know. And Spirit's saying, no, you're not realizing that you're on a good path. You're not realizing that good things are coming, and you're kind of failing to see the positive that's currently here. You might be in such a hurry to get to the finish line, you're not seeing the gifts that are here in the present moment. So Temperance is asking you to be patient. Temperance is asking you to trust in divine timing. Temperance is asking you to trust that things are being guided and things are going to have a positive outcome. When I see 5 of Cups also, sometimes it can indicate that somebody is beating themselves up because they're not happy with choices they've made, or they may be struggling with some kind of self-medicating that's causing them to close up their heart chakra and preventing them from allowing new experiences to come in. So maybe some of you made a choice or a decision that you regret, And you're not being gentle enough with yourself to say, hey, you know what? It happens. It's a process. I'm going to let it go. And, you know, with time, it's going to get easier. It's going to get better, and there'll be less slip-ups. So if there's something you're trying to do for your health, or if there's something you're trying to do in your behavior, or change your thinking or something, if you have old habits come up, you need to be patient with yourself. You need to be forgiving of yourself and not go into those all or nothing thinking where, oh, well, I messed up, so forget it. I'm going to give up on this altogether. Don't do that. Don't do that. Just give yourself time, right? Maybe you're struggling with a subject at school. Maybe you're having a hard time getting something down at work. You're going to get it. But if you put pressure on yourself, and if you're mad at yourself, and if you're beating yourself up about it, then it's very hard to succeed. But if you could be in that flow, if you could be in that faith, if you could be in that belief, then it's going to work out. It's going to come together. Okay, so for some reason with this 5 of Cups, I feel some of you are being very hard on yourself. Some of you are also very stressed with all of the changes that you're going through, and you might be very tempted to self-medicate, right? And if it happens, it happens, right? You have to forgive yourself, but then also take the steps to turn over that new leaf again. So be aware of that. Don't close yourself up emotionally, or don't shut yourself off. And if it does happen, then get right back on track. And the Temperance card is letting you know that you will succeed. You will succeed, but you got to keep at it. Okay? Let's go ahead and check out your next card. So we're going to look at August 2020 for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising, please. August 2020. For Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising, please. August 2020. For Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising, please. And you have the Fool. So the Fool is a major arcana card, very significant. Okay, crossroads, change, coming into a new way of doing things, going down a new path. And when the Fool card comes up, we're feeling very guided for this change. We're feeling very guided to go on this path. The Fool card lets us know that you might be jumping into something that other people may not quite understand. Like, oh, well, why would you want to do that? Or I can't really see you doing that. Or I don't picture you, being into that kind of thing. But with the Fool card coming up, it's letting you know that you're being guided. You're almost like answering a call. You're feeling pulled to do something. It's wonderful to have optimism, Gemini, but I'm hearing this is the point where you're going to master something really amazing. Some of you have had a really hard time with the whole law of attraction thing, the manifesting thing. You get really upset because you're like, well, I have optimistic attitude and I believe and I make an effort and it still doesn't work out, or things always backfire, or it doesn't work for me, or this or this or that. And the Fool card is saying you just have to make sure you have some kind of umbrella. Like, you have to make sure you have some safety net in place, that you've calculated the cost. You're not jumping in 100% like, you know what? It's totally fine. I feel guided to do this. 100% it's going to work out, and go completely and totally forward without some kind of a plan. You have to have a plan, Like if you're leaving a job and you don't have somebody supporting you, it's good to be in faith that you're going to find something better, but you're going to have to find something else in the meantime, right? Or you're going to have to find some kind of way, some side hustle, something in the meantime that's sustainable enough to hold you over until that business picks up or until that bigger job comes in, right? You have to have a plan in place, and then that's how you're taking a leap of faith. You're taking a leap of faith, but you're doing it in a smart kind of way. So this is something that a lot of you are going to finally master. You're going to get this down and you're like, wow, the law of attraction does work for me. Wow, I am able to manifest really great things. Wow, it doesn't have to be such a struggle. So a lot of you are going to manifest that whole kind of trust, faith, optimistic, or maybe in the past it's been very confusing for you. But, come August, you're going to be able to really have that down and have it down very well. Let's go ahead and take a look at your next card here. Okay, so September 2020 for Gemini Sun, Moon, and Rising, please. September 2020 for Gemini Sun, Moon, and Rising, please. And we have 7 of Wands. So whatever path you're going in, whatever this is that you're going, or whatever it is that you're doing, you are holding your ground. You're holding your own. You're kind of succeeding here. I feel, Gemini, that for a lot of you also, what's happening is as you're moving up, or as these experiences are coming in, whether you're doing really well at school, or you're doing really well with something at work, and you're being given more responsibilities, and it seems like things are really picking up for you, or even in business, maybe you're doing something self-employment that's starting to pick up. You might notice that there are people who all of a sudden are like kind of coming up and trying to compete with you. And for some of you, I have to say, they're going to do it in a really sneaky way. They're not going to make it obvious that they're trying to compete with you, but they might come in and try to like plant these seeds of doubt to make you feel like you're not really doing that good of a job, or you just kind of got lucky, right? Oh, well, you did beginner's luck, or you just kind of got lucky. Or they're saying things like that because in a really slick way, they're trying to discourage you so that you lose your motivation and you quit trying and you start letting go, so that they can jump in and, like, you know, get the business that you were getting, or get the boss's attention, or have the highest score in class, or whatever it might be. They might be doing something like that to compete with you. But this is a time for you to change that energy so that these kinds of people don't come into your energy anymore, and you don't have these kinds of experiences, by being in your stance of, I deserve this. I deserve this just as much as anybody else. And, you know, I'm worthy of succeeding. I'm worthy of having this position. I deserve to be where I am. And just kind of stand your ground, stand your own. I feel that this is a chance for you to let go of competition and just say, you know what, I'm not going to look at what this one is doing. I'm not going to look at what that one is doing. I'm not going to worry about who's best. I'm just going to focus on my best. And as you're doing that, all this other nonsense, it's falling away. You don't have to worry about it. And before you know it, you are coming out on top, right? So this is about you staying focused and not allowing anybody to pull you into their drama. Okay? Do not allow anybody else to pull you into their drama. For some of you, as others begin to see you succeeding and they see you doing well, they're like, oh, well, Gemini's happy. Gemini's in a good mood. I'm not happy. I want Gemini to make me feel better. So you might have people coming to you with their sadness, their problems, their issues, their drama. You got to stay focused on what you need to do. Don't let them pull you off your path. You know, it's okay for you to stay focused on what you need to do. And if somebody is being passive aggressive, or if somebody is saying these rude little, you know, snappy things, they might just be saying them to pull you into a disagreement, to throw you off. Don't let them succeed. You know, hold your head up, stay focused on what you need to do, and you're going to succeed. And they're just going to stand there still being in their petty little energy, right? But you're not going to get caught up in that. You're going to be doing well and moving on and succeeding and moving up. Let's go ahead and check out your next card here. So please show us September. Are we in September? Nope, we are in October. October. Please show us October 2020 for Gemini Sun, Moon, and Rising. Please show us October 2020 for Gemini Sun, Moon, and Rising. Alrighty, my darlings. Oh ho 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 ho. So October 2020, things are getting stable. Things are getting secure. Things are getting in the element of, like, you feel like you have your footing, okay? This could be a contract that's coming your way. So if you've been doing something in terms of, like, temporary work, you might get offered a permanent position. You could be offered a new job. This is also indicative of things like marriage, proposals, marriage proposals, things like this. So things becoming finalized, plans becoming finalized, things being secured. Okay, it is a major arcana, so it's in a significant area of your life. Something gaining stability. Some of you could be dealing with a Taurus, right? Or somebody who's Taurus, sun, moon, or rising. Or if you have Taurus in your chart, it might be really coming in full force and helping you to be grounded in some way, or to get certain things accomplished that are bringing you this level of stability. This is also a card that could indicate the truth being revealed, but not the truth being revealed in a way where like something scary is happening, right? Oh, it's all out, like not like that, but it could be something being vindicated. Like, you know, maybe you feel like there's just been something for a long time that you know, people are saying about you that's not true. The truth will come out around this time that what they're saying isn't true. Or maybe like it's more you being able to prove yourself, like to show other people, look at what I'm capable of. You know, look at me coming into my independence. Therefore, all of the, you know, stupid things that you said about me aren't true because I'm proving you wrong by coming into these agreements, these contracts, this success, this foundation that I've laid. So for a lot of you, it's like not only are you succeeding, you're feeling very vindicated. And you're feeling like this success is proving a lot of people wrong, or proving that a lot of people said things that were not true about you. And it can be for some of you, you know, along the lines of, like I said, engagement, you know, marriage, you know, things like this happening as well. These are general readings, so the energies are going to apply in different ways. Again, once we get into the extended, I will pull the clarifiers. We'll talk about that at the end. But we're going to move it along here and get to November 2020. Please show us November 2020 for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Please show us November 2020 for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So you have Two of Wands. So whatever these choices are, you might have some options, okay? You might be finding that you're having to pick between a couple of different things. You might be picking between relationships. You might have more than one prospect in terms of relationship. You might have more than one offer in terms of what school you want to go to or what job you want to take. Or if you're in a business, you might find that this contract that's being offered you, you really have to take a second look at. Not because it's not a good deal, but because there might be something in there that is written for somebody else's favor. And that if you were able to catch it, and if you were able to draw attention to it, you might be able to have the contract, you know, serve you better, or be more positive for you, more productive for you. Okay, so you might just be so happy and so glad that something is coming in, something really big is coming in, whether it's a wedding proposal or whether it's a job situation or an offer to go to school, that you might want to just jump on and say, yes, I'll take it, right? But Spirit's saying, wait a minute. You might have a chance here to adjust this and make this even better for you, right? You might be able to negotiate a higher salary. Or if somebody's offering you a marriage proposal, wow, that's so great. You know, I just want to make sure we're on the same page. I just want to make sure that, you know, we're looking at the relationship in the same way and that we're wanting the same things, you know? So just to make sure that what's being offered to you is bringing in the things that you're expecting. Okay, because when Two of Wands comes up, it's the weighing things out. It's looking at the bigger picture. Some of you could be coming into some kind of a partnership. Okay, and so partnership in terms of business or in terms of you know, some kind of collaboration with somebody else, and you're gonna have to make sure that the guidelines here are clear. You know, who's doing what, who's in charge. Is it an equal partnership? Is one person more have more power in the situation than the other? What are the responsibilities? How are you guys going to split the profits or any money that might come in? These are all things that need to be in writing. Okay, let's go ahead and check out your December. December 2020 for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising, please. Please show us December 2020 for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's Gemini, it's your card. I get super duper excited when I see someone's major arcana come up in their reading, okay? And so this is coming in towards the end of the year, but I'll tell you why I'm so excited. To have it come up in your yearly forecast tells me that this is going to be your year. Now, obviously, we had some cards that came up that some of you were like, oh, I'm not looking forward to 2020. But this is letting us know that you are coming out on top. You are coming out victorious and you are succeeding. Okay, you are coming into your strengths. So if you've made it this far into the reading, congratulate yourself. Give yourself a pat on the back. Know that you are ready to face whatever's coming your way and come out on top and be successful. When I see that zodiac sign's major arcana card come up in a reading, it tells me that you're coming into all the positive characteristics of your zodiac sign. And the things that people made you feel bad about yourself, you're realizing those are actually qualities that are strengths when applied the right way. And you're figuring out how to apply them the right way, right? Whether someone is stubborn or if that person is determined comes down to whether or not you agree with what they're doing. Honestly. So whether the people in your life see you as a stubborn person or a committed, driven, determined person comes down to whether or not they agree with your decisions or your priorities, if they're on the same page as you. So if you don't agree with that person's priorities, then their opinion of what you're doing doesn't matter. And you no longer have to feel insecure or feel bad about yourself and sit there and say, oh, I'm a stubborn person. Because you might not agree with that person's choices and decisions. You might not agree with the way that they're living their life. And when your card comes up, it says that you're figuring this out. You're seeing this. And you're removing all of the negative labels that people have put on you. Okay? You're really coming into your power, your strength, your success, to where you're not going to feel like you have to back down from people. You're not going to feel like you have to be intimidated by anybody else. You have true confidence, assertiveness, which means you can be strong and successful without feeling like you have to go on a rampage, without feeling like you have to put other people in their place, or without feeling like you have to have the last word. You have a confidence and an assertiveness that you can let things slide off your back. No more power struggle. And you're going to apply to your energies to the things that really matter. And you're going to come into that true success in that way. So I'm very excited to see this card come up for you. Now, being that it is the Lover's card on top of representing Gemini, it can indicate that something is happening in your love life where you are making a decision. And I do feel, Gemini, that some of you at the end of the year are making a decision to settle down. And I do feel that, you know, you're having to decide between more than one partner or more than one option. I really do feel that. Again, this is a general reading, so it's going to apply in different ways for different ones of you. We're going to look at your angel card and see what angel is going to be with Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising in 2020. So let's go ahead and jump in with that. What angel will be with Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising in January? No, not just January, but the year of 2020. Oh, the Magician. Archangel Raziel. I love working with Archangel Raziel. Love, love, love working with Archangel Raziel. So this is going to be about manifesting. And it says you are ready. You have the resources or the ability to manifest what you need. Life is magical. So, you're really coming into this energy of being able to manifest the things that are going to be beneficial for you. The things that are going to be taking you in the path to achieving your goals, your desires. You might be seeing 111, 1111, 222, 444, 555. You might be seeing a lot of that in 2020. Even if it happened for you in 2019, you might see it in overload in 2020. Extra, you might be seeing it. Heck, the year itself is repeating 2020, right? 22. So the Magician is telling you that you're going to be manifesting things very quickly, and you're going to be, having a lot of moments of serendipity. when Raziel comes up, Archangel Raziel, he helps us to manifest. So I really love working with him when I'm trying to manifest certain things. It might be a good idea for you to read up about him, to learn about him, to get a better idea of who he is. And then that way maybe you feel more comfortable working with that archangel if you're into working with the archangels. For me, I associate him with a very deep, very dark purple. So I like to work with that color or incorporate that color when I'm working with him. But Raziel is letting you know, my dear, that 2020 is going to be the year of manifestations, and he is going to have your back as you're manifesting. Oh, did you see how the candle went out and the smoke just went up? That is confirmation. I love it. Alrighty, my darlings. So I'm doing the extended reading. So I'm going to explain the extended reading for you guys. If you would like a private personal reading, you can click on the Calendly link in the description of the reading, and you can book your private 2020 reading for yourself. If you're on the fence about it, you're like, I don't know if I want to do the reading with Amethyst, or if you don't have the funds to get a private reading, but you want more, the extended reading is going to be just $4.44. The instructions are in the description of the video. All you have to do is send $4.44 via PayPal, and in the memo, let me know which zodiac sign you want the extended reading for, and I'll get the link to you within 48 hours. So the extended readings are about an hour long. They're between 50 to 60 minutes. And I pull clarifiers for the different cards, and we get a better idea of how those energies might be coming in. So very, very beneficial. Lots of extra information. It's a nice, long, meaty reading. So you're getting your money's worth for $4.40. You're getting about an hour's worth of explanation and analyzing and going into the different cards. So if you're into that, go ahead and go to the PayPal and request that, and I'll get that out to you. But I thank you guys so much for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. Don't forget to keep watching your weekly forecasts. Hopefully those will help you along the way in the coming year. I love making the videos. I love that so many of you are finding it helpful. I'm going to keep the free videos coming in 2020, and I thank you guys so much. Thank you for letting me be part of your journey. Thank you for being part of my journey, and I'm wishing you a wonderful, happy, healthy, prosperous, abundant, joyful, amazing 2020. Take care, Gemini.